You think you're weak because you can't let her go. You think you're crazy because she hurt you over and over and you still want her back. You're just in a prison that no one taught men how to escape. They call it a trauma bond. But let's get one thing straight. A trauma bond isn't love. It isn't loyalty. It isn't even addiction, though it feels like all three. A trauma bond is what happens when pain and pleasure get poured into the same glass and you drink it down until you can't tell which part is killing you. Nobody warns men about this. They teach you to take a punch, not how to survive a slow poisoning. So listen, this is the truth about trauma bonds. No one tells men. Not your friends, not your father, not the so-called alpha advice peddlers who tell you to just move on. They've never been inside the maze. They don't know how it feels to need the same person who makes you hate yourself. Let's go back to the beginning. It doesn't start with chaos. It starts with lightning. The connection is instant, undeniable. She looks at you like you're the only man alive. It feels like destiny. It feels like fate. You lower your guard because it's different with her. She understands you. She needs you. She says all the things you've waited your whole life to hear. She makes you feel chosen, and you are, but not for the reasons you think. At first, the love is blinding. She floods your senses with affection, attention, validation you didn't even know you were hungry for. She drowns you in the fantasy and you let yourself sink. But the storm is coming. You just don't see the clouds yet. The first fight shocks you. She turns cold, withdraws her affection just long enough to make you doubt yourself. Then, just as suddenly, she floods you with warmth again. You breathe a sigh of relief, grateful to be back in her light. And so the cycle begins. Affection, withdrawal, chaos, reunion. You start to crave her approval, like oxygen. You obsess over her moods. You lose sleep trying to figure out what you did wrong. She says, no one else gets me like you do. She says, you're the only one who stays. You start to believe her pain is your purpose. She's sad, you fix it. She's angry, you apologize, even when it's not your fault. You become her therapist, her confessor, her emotional punching bag. And every time you want to leave, she gives you just enough hope to make you stay. Some nights, you catch yourself thinking, am I going crazy? Why do I still want her when she makes me feel like nothing? But you don't say it out loud. You're a man. You're supposed to be strong, unbothered, indifferent. You're supposed to walk away from drama, but you keep running back into the fire. You don't tell your friends because they'll say, just cut her off, bro. But your brain is wired for her chaos now. You're not addicted to her love. You're addicted to the cycle. Dopamine, cortisol, hope, despair. She is the architect of your highs and the author of your lows. It's not just psychological, it's chemical. And nobody warned you. You think you're choosing her, but really you're choosing the version of yourself who believes pain is a sign of love. Because somewhere in your past, maybe long before you ever met her, you learned that love means surviving storms. You learned that being a man means tolerating pain and staying loyal no matter what it costs you. So you give her chance after chance, even when it feels like you're losing yourself, piece by piece. You mistake survival for strength. You start to measure your worth by how much you can endure. She tests your boundaries. She breaks your trust. She comes back with tears and promises she'll change. You want to believe her because the fantasy is better than the emptiness. You're terrified to face alone. But here's the truth. Trauma bonds don't break with time. They break with truth. You have to be willing to see her clearly, not the dream, not the memory, not the potential. You have to see her as she is, the architect of your suffering and the author of your self-doubt. And you have to see yourself, not as the hero who saves her, but as the man who saves himself. Leaving isn't weakness. Leaving is the bravest thing you'll ever do. Because the world will judge you. They'll say you didn't try hard enough. They'll say you weren't man enough to fix her. Let them talk. You don't need another critic. You need a way out. Here's how you break the bond. First, no contact. No loopholes. No checking her socials. No responding when she says she just needs closure. Block her. Everywhere. You're not being cruel, you're saving your own life. Delete every message, every photo, every song that reminds you of the way she made you feel before the poison set in. Tell your friends, the real ones. Say it out loud. I'm breaking a trauma bond. It won't feel like freedom at first. It'll feel like withdrawal, like detox. You'll shake, you'll crave, you'll want to go back. Don't. Write it down. Every time you want to call, every time you want to text, write down how you felt the last time she left you empty. Feel the pain. Don't run from it. Don't try to outthink it. Let it burn. And when you can't take the loneliness, when you're tempted to go back, remember, you've already survived the worst days of your life. You're still here. You're stronger than you think. Talk to a therapist if you have to. Read, train, work. Do anything that puts the focus back on building yourself. Reclaim the parts of your life you lost in the chaos. Make new routines, make new memories. And when she comes back, because she will, don't open the door. She'll promise she's changed. She'll say she misses you. But your healing is not a stage for her to perform on. Your peace is not a gift you owe anyone who broke it. You will always have a scar, but that scar is your boundary. It's the proof that you can survive what once destroyed you, and you will love again, but only if you choose yourself first. So if you're still listening, if you're tired of loving someone who keeps you on a leash of pain, hit subscribe right now, because every week the Closure Club is going to give you the truth. No one else has the guts to say, this is not where your story ends. You're not broken, you're not weak, you are not defined by who hurt you or how long it takes to let her go. You're a man who can turn pain into power and never have to repeat this lesson again. The truth about trauma bonds is simple. They end the moment you choose peace over pain, freedom over familiarity, and self-respect over old patterns. You owe her nothing. You owe yourself everything. Now walk out of the maze. The door was never locked. You just had to see it for yourself.